Hello students. Yesterday you have already learned about atomic model, uh, Thomson model, and what was the postulates of Rutherford model and Rutherford's alpha scattering experiment and so on. Today I am going to tell you some results or some calculation which are based on the postulates of Rutherford model. Uh, so first is that the energy of electrons in orbits. As you know that according to Rutherford postulate, we know simple if this is nucleus and electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular orbits. So if they are revolving in circular orbits, then definitely to maintain their circular path, they must need a centripetal force. Simple. Sorry guys. If anybody wants to keep its motion in a circular orbit or circular path, then definitely it needs a centripetal force, and in this case this centripetal force is provided by the electrostatic attraction force between electron and the positively charged nucleus. Clear? Simple. Electron has negative charge and this has positive charge, then definitely there will be an electrostatic attraction between electrons and protons of the nucleus. Then simple, this attractive force will provide uh, required centripetal force to maintain the path of electron the circular orbit. Okay, so it means that Fc will be equal to Fe. As you know that the value of simple centripetal force is in general mv square by r, where m is the mass of the electron, v is with which velocity it is revolving in this orbit, and r is the radius of this circular orbit. This is small r. Okay, and also we can find out simply electrostatic attraction force, which is in general q1 q2 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r square. So here q1 and this is magnitude of charges. So magnitude of electron, charge of electron will be E, and so E. So there will be E square upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r square. Clear? The distance between this point and this point. So after solving this, we can easily calculate half mv square. So what will be the value of half mv square? This will becomes E square upon 8 pi epsilon 0 r. This is also the kinetic energy of electron which is revolving around the nucleus. Clear? So we can easily find out with the help of the concept of the circular orbits what will be the kinetic energy possessed by this electron. So let's see what will be the potential energy possessed by electron. So as you know that the formula for potential energy is Q1 Q2 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r. So in the case of potential energy, we take the magnitude of charges, not only magnitude, direction of charges also, or simple they are of negative charges or positive charges, we have to take that in account. So here the charge on electron is minus E and charge of nucleus is plus E. So we, after writing this, we can also obtain potential energy easily. Clear? Negative potential energy means simply it binds the electrons to the nucleus. So let's see what will be the total energy of electron revolving around the nucleus. As you know that total energy in case of this model is given by simple kinetic energy plus potential energy. As the assumption of Rutherford was that there is elastic collision or elastic properties between electron and simple nucleus and other things. So definitely it means that also there is no any other radiation. Also electrons are revolving around the nucleus with constant velocity. So if there is uniform motion, there is not accelerated motion, so there is no dissipation of any other energy. So total energy will be simply the addition of kinetic energy plus potential energy. So as you know that the value of kinetic energy and value of potential energy. After solving, we will get this value. This is the total energy of the electron in any circular orbit of radius small r round the nucleus. Okay. As you were saying that this energy is negative, so it means that if energy value of energy is negative, then simply means that it always bind electrons to the nucleus, means always force will be attractive. Force at a certain distance, force can't be repulsive or any in other form. Simply it means that electrons are bound to move in circular orbits around the nucleus, and they can't even leave this orbit and escape from here, because the total energy is always negative. It means they will always feel a attractive force towards the nucleus. Okay, so I think it's clear to you what is the concept of energy in energy of electrons in orbits and how can we calculate it simply. So now if it's clear to you, then let's start some new factor. Means also Rutherford worked on the theory of atomic spectra. His postulates of circular orbit, he also provide us some concept of atomic spectra there, and he tried to explain a spectrum of some atoms like hydrogen. So you have to study that only here, spectrum of hydrogen atom. So let's see that what is atomic spectra and what is the spectrum of hydrogen atom. Now let's study what is the atomic spectra. From this concept we are entering in the field of spectrum, and as you know that this is the concept of spectroscopy starting from here. As the Rutherford told us that since electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular orbits, so actually in every possible circular orbits they are revolving according to the Rutherford. So if any electron which has higher energy, actually one more thing I have already told you that the energy of these orbits is increasing as we go outside the nucleus. Simple. So simple, if this is the energy orbit of higher energy and this is orbit of lower energy, then electron can make transitions from higher to lower orbits, and obviously in this to be in this orbit it must have lower energy than this orbit. So the excess energy electron will emit in the form of electromagnetic waves. Simple. So if we you know that the energy, this energy will be equal to, so this is the according to the Planck's idea, and more precisely it is described by Bohr. Later we will study about that, but for your at least to remove your confusion, I want I'm taking that simple. With the difference of this energy in higher orbit and lower orbit, there will be the emission of electromagnetic wave, and its energy depends on the difference between these orbits, and definitely according to that it will have certain frequency or wavelength. So if suppose there are so many circular orbits, and if electrons are making transitions, then we can arrange them in the form of decreasing or increasing order of wavelength or frequency. Simple. Suppose that because there are so many transitions done by the electrons from higher to lower orbit, then easily we can arrange them in the increasing or decreasing order of frequency or wavelength. So this arrangement is known as simply spectrum. Means the arrangement of wavelength or frequency in increasing or decreasing order in the, while an electron from higher orbit to transit from higher orbit to lower orbit, then simply we can arrange it in the form of frequency or wavelength of emitted light or emitted electromagnetic radiation, and this is called the spectrum. So spectrum can be of two types. Atomic spectra, actually there are two types of spectra also, atomic spectra and molecular spectra. So as we are taking the case of atom, so here we have to study atomic spectra. If we will take any molecule, and definitely molecules are also transmit energy or makes transaction from higher orbit to lower orbit, and they also emit electromagnetic wave, and in that case we also got molecular spectra. So that is the complicated this, and I am not going to actually tell you that. Here we have to only study what is the atomic spectra. So atomic spectra can be of two types, emission spectra and absorption spectra. So emission spectra, I have already told you, if an electron makes transition from higher to lower, then there will be emission of electromagnetic radiation, and if we will arrange them according to their frequency or wavelength, then we will get some form of a spectrum, like you see rainbow. In the rainbow there are simply arrangement of the colors of the white light, and they are in the increasing or decreasing order of frequency and wavelength. You simply know that if it is started from violet, then definitely ends from red. So this is the decreasing order of frequency or increasing order of wavelength. So this is the arrangement, simple means increasing or decreasing arrangement of frequency or wavelength. Then this is called the spectrum, and if this spectrum is from the if we get this spectrum from the emission of light, then this is called emission spectra. Simple. Absorption spectra is obtained when radiation or passes from like air or vapor, then some of the wavelength are absorbed by the gas or vapor there, or by the airs, and if we put or that absorbed wavelengths or frequency in the order of increasing or decreasing way, then again we will get an arrangement of this form, and that is called absorption spectra. Clear? If there is emission of light, then there is emission spectra, and if some of the wavelengths are absorbed by some gas, vapor and other any medium, then we can also arrange the absorbed wavelength or frequency in increasing or decreasing order, and that is called absorption spectra. I think now it's clear to you what is emission spectra and absorption spectra. In most of the atom we always get emission spectra. Absorption spectra is obtained in very few cases, and also for very few wavelength it is observed. In hydrogen atom, absorption spectra is also observed. I will tell you later. But first come to the concept of what is the concept of spectroscopy, and simple what is the concept of spectrum here. Also here spectra are of two types also, line spectra, band spectra. So line spectra means if wavelength or simple frequencies are of definite value, like this form. Here the value of wavelength will be some definite value, means if they have single value and they are separated by some wavelength or frequency, then this type of spectrum is known as line spectrum. As you are seeing that they can be traced by the lines simply. So this is called line spectrum. And band spectra, like you are seeing the case of rainbow, in that case you can't even distinguish this types, means there is no separation between the colors, only a continuous spectrum of the light occurs. So in that case we got band, means stripped for any color, like for red we got stripped for, means there is variation in wavelength, means suppose that for example I am taking the variation from 4000 angstrom to 5000 angstrom for it. So it means that for example only I am taking that. Suppose that from 4000 to 5000 it is the wavelength of red total, means for the 1000 angstrom wavelength there we will always get the light, red light, it means that this is a continuous form of red light for the 1000 angstrom, then definitely after putting this we will get some form of like this band strip. So this types of spectrum is known as band spectrum. So I think now it's clear to you what is line spectra, what is band spectra, what is emission spectra, what is absorption spectra. Two more concept I want to tell you, which is continuous spectra and discontinuous spectra. So what is the continuous spectra? In continuous spectra we got spectrum for every wavelength. Simple. Means there will be a range of wavelength, like take the example of white light. Suppose that wavelength is starting from 4000 to 8000 angstrom. So we will get light for every wavelength which is belonging between them. Means from 4000 to 7800 angstrom we will get light for every single wavelength here. Means spectrum, this spectrum is continually formed in within this region. So this types of spectra is known as continuous spectra. Discontinuous spectra is that, suppose that in this form we don't get any light for the wavelength 5000 angstrom. Means 5000 angstrom is missing. So if 5000 angstrom is missing, then definitely the continuous form of the wavelength will be breakdown, and we will not get light for every single wavelength. Means for 5000 angstrom we will not get light, and continuity of light will be breakdown, and after 5000 again we will get some light. Means suppose that here at 6000 angstrom again light is missing. So this is the this is called discontinuous spectra. So I think all concepts of atomic spectra is clear to you. Simple. Again, if I want to tell you, atomic spectra are of two types: emission spectra, absorption spectra. Emission spectra will occur when atom transit from higher to lower orbit and emit some radiation, and if we arrange the wavelength or frequency of that emitted radiation in increasing or decreasing order, then we will get some spectrum or some arrangement. That arrangement is known as emission spectra. And absorption spectra is simple. If any light radiation is passes through gases or vapor or any medium, then some of the wavelengths are absorbed by them. So if we put that absorbed wavelength in increasing or decreasing order, then again we will get an arrangement, and that is known as absorption spectra. Also they are of two types, line spectra and band spectra. I've already told you what is line spectra. If there is some definite wavelength and they are separated by some distance, then definitely that is called line spectra. And if there is some continuous band of spectra is obtained, then it's called band spectra. In case of atom, we always get only line spectra, because energy of atom is precise, definite. The means energy of the orbit of around the nucleus is always precise, means have definite value. And if electron will make transition from any higher orbit to lower orbit, means there will be definite energy, frequency or wavelength emission takes place from here. So definitely in this case we will get some definite wavelength or definite frequency from the transition. So we will get only line spectrum here. Band spectra is obtained in the case of molecules where two or more atoms can form the molecule, and as the energy of that two atoms can vary, so definitely due to variation of energy we will get band spectra. Okay. So I think origin of spectra is now clear to you. What is the atomic spectra? What is the concept of this spectrum? So if this is clear to you, then I want to come at the spectrum of hydrogen atom. So let's see that. So now let's see what is the spectral series of hydrogen atom. Simple, you know that the most simplest atom is hydrogen, in which we have one electron revolving around the nucleus. So if one electron is revolving around the nucleus, we have less difficulty and simplicity, as there is no any other types of forces between electrons takes place. I will tell you later what about what I am talking. So firstly, in case of hydrogen, as you know that simple, there is an electron revolving around the nucleus, and this electron will feel repulsion through it. We can easily calculate what will be the energy of this electron, what will be the kinetic energy, potential energy, or total energy. Okay. If in this case, as you know that according to Rutherford model, there can be so many circular orbits, and suppose that if hydrogen atom simply I think I have to tell you absorption series in this case. Suppose that hydrogen R, this electron is getting energy from some, outside. So this electron we add some energy from the outside, and after getting that energy, if this is sufficient to reach this orbit, means lower to higher orbit, it can also transmit if it will absorb some energy. So due to this absorption of energy, suppose that this is from here. So if we can also put that wavelength of the energy which is absorbed by this electron to make transition from lower to higher orbit, and according to that we can also obtain the spectral series. So suppose that if from this is n equal to 1, actually the concept of this n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3, which is principal quantum number, and this also sign that this is first circular orbit, this is second circular orbit, third circular orbit. This is postulated by Bohr, but for explanation I'm using that here, and also for the explanation of the spectral series of hydrogen we can take that. Suppose that from the first circular orbit it is moving to the second circular orbit, then in this case obviously there will be some wavelength of light or energy absorbed by this electron to make transition from there. So in this transition, the energy absorbed by it and the wavelength absorbed by it, we can easily calculate it. First Balmer calculated this, and Balmer even explained the series for spectral series for hydrogen, and he observed this for visible light, means he added simply visible light to the hydrogen atom and arranged them in the in form of wavelength, and after that he observed some wavelength for this, means the wavelength absorbed by the hydrogen the electron in hydrogen atom for the to make the transition from this level to this level, and he observed that for n equal to 2 to n equal to 3, to make transition from this level to this level it needs visible light. So Balmer observed that, and he even arranged he gave empirical formula. I want to tell you what is empirical formula. Actually empirical formula are given by the observation of experiment, and some of the formulas are derived, which are derived by the theoretical analysis, but some of the formulas can be easily given by the experiment, and that is also given by experimental observation, and that is called empirical formula. So he gave this empirical formula for the spectral transition from simply transition from this level n equal to 2 to n equal to 3, n equal to 4, n equal to 5, means if higher energy is absorbed by the electron, it can make transition from n equal to 2 to higher orbits n equal to 4 or n equal to 5 and so on. Okay, so depends on the energy we are giving it. So the lowest orbit will be n equal to 2 to n equal to 3. Here one thing is fixed, In case of Balmer series, it is also called. I will actually explain you that from the energy level diagram. Firstly, let's see what is this. In Balmer series, simple. First, one thing will be here constant, that electron will make transition from n equal to 2 always. In case of Balmer series, if it have to absorb or emit visible light, then for the case of visible light, it must be n equal to 2. Or if it want to if it have to emit visible light, then again for from n equal to 3, from n equal to 4, from n equal to 5, it have to come to n equal to 2. Simple. Means the final destination or initial destination of electron will be n equal to 2, means second orbit. Simple. So here this value is fixed, and this value can be in case of absorption. I am telling you actually ki it is absorbing energy and going to higher orbits. So it can be n equal to 3, n equal to 4, n equal to 5, and so on. And also it can transmit or radiate visible light if it makes transition from n equal to 4 to n equal to 2, n equal to 3 to n equal to 2, n equal to 5 to n equal to 2. It can also emit energy. So simple. In hydrogen atom, we always get absorption and emission, both types of spectra here. So this is the Balmer series, and this is empirical formula given by the Balmer. With the help of this, later so many scientists work for this spectral series of hydrogen, and they also get some of the series like Lyman get series for if any electron makes transition from n equal to 1 to n equal to 2, n equal to 3, n equal to 4. Means here the destination of electron, final or initial destination, is n equal to 1. If it absorb energy, then it will go from n equal to 1 to other higher orbits, and if it emits energy, then it will comes from higher orbit to n equal to 1. This is the case of Lyman series, and this series for this series ultraviolet light is suitable. Means here the wavelength obtained lies in the range of ultraviolet. Okay. Next series was obtained by Paschen, which is known as also Paschen series, and in Paschen series the destination is n equal to 3, means third orbit. Means if it absorb energy, then it will go from n equal to 3 to n equal to 4, n equal to 5, or if it emits energy, then it will come from n equal to 4, n equal to 5 to n equal to 3. Means in third orbit always. So there will be one at least fixed orbit in every series. Means from here they can try go to upper orbit, or from upper orbit they can come to this orbit. Simply, I think this clear to you. And this wavelength lies in the range of near infrared. Actually, infrared radiations are quite long wavelength or frequency. So we can divide them in 3 parts: near infrared, infrared, and far infrared. So this wavelength lies in the range of near infrared. Okay. There are 2 more series obtained for simple hydrogen atom. Let's see that. Here I have already written the value of R, which is Rydberg constant. So next series is bracket series. If the destination of electron start or end to n equal to 4, then in this case we will get bracket series. This is also the name of scientist in this case also. Simple. If electron goes to the higher orbit, like in n equal to 5, n equal to 6, then from n equal to 4, then we will get series for bracket or simple wavelength in the bracket series, or it will comes to n equal to 4 from n equal to 5 or n equal to 6. Clear? At this wavelength lies in infrared region. Simple. Paschen series lies in near infrared region. This lies in infrared region. And there is one more series we have, which is Pund series. Pund series. We can also write wavelength for it, which is means if starting orbit is n equal to 5 and electron makes transition from higher orbits to n equal to 5, or it goes to higher orbit from n equal to 5, then in this case we will get Pund series, and this series lies in the range of far infrared region. Means in hydrogen atom, 3 series lies in infrared region: Paschen series, bracket series, and Pund series. One is lies in near infrared, one is in infrared, and third is far infrared. Okay. You can also see the wavelength of these lights from the chart of wavelength of electromagnetic lights. So there are basically 5 types of wavelength, or 5 types of series obtained, and these series are known as simply spectral series of hydrogen. These 5 series, Balmer, Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, bracket, Pund, these are called spectral series of hydrogen. I think now it's clear to you what is the spectral series of hydrogen atom. This is simply which types of radiation an electron emits when it makes transition from higher to lower or lower to higher orbits, and according to that we arranged them, and we got 5 series for hydrogen. So let's see. So in next class we will see what is the energy level diagram of hydrogen atom, how can we arrange these 5 series in the simple wavelength form, and how can we understand the transitions as I have told you from n equal to 1 to higher orbits or other things. So with the energy level diagram we can easily understand it. So let study that in next class. Thank you.